Hi everyone, how are you? I'm Edward from English Made Easy, and welcome to my Parts of Speech series. In this series, I will look at the main parts of speech in the English language and give you a detailed overview of each. Let's start with the basics. What is a part of speech? A part of speech is the category that a word is assigned based on its function, grammar, and syntax. Take the word boredom, for example. Boredom is a noun, but it also has an adjective, verb, and adverb form. These are boring, to bore, and boringly. In total, there are 8 major parts of speech in the English language: nouns, adjectives, verbs, adverbs, pronouns, conjunctions, interjections, and prepositions. Knowing the correct forms of the parts of speech and when to use them will make your English sound more natural, fluent, and accurate. Stay tuned as I make parts of speech easy. For the second video of this series, let's take a look at adjectives. As with my last video of nouns, which you can check out above, in this video we'll look at what are adjectives, when do we use adjectives, how do we use adjectives, and how we can identify adjectives. Let's start with the basics. What is an adjective? An adjective is a describing word, specifically a word which describes a noun. By describing the noun, we are in fact modifying it. There are many different ways that an adjective can modify a noun. The adjective we use will determine how the noun has been modified. I've put together a list of some of the most common ways you can expect to hear adjectives used when modifying nouns. While this list isn't exhaustive, it should give you a pretty good idea about how many different ways there are to use nouns. Adjectives, such as happy, sad, or friendly, describe feelings or personal qualities. For example, she is kind and patient. The words Italian, British, or American describe something's origin or nationality. For example, I love Japanese food. Adjectives can also be used to give more information about something's characteristics. For example, this meal is delicious, but last night's was disgusting. Colors are also adjectives, just like red, yellow, or turquoise. For example, the sky was so blue yesterday. When describing the shape of an object, we also use adjectives, such as triangular, curved, or flat. For example, pizza can be round, but also sometimes it's square. Adjectives can be used to describe the color or shape of something, but they're also used to describe what material it's made from. For example, I prefer wooden tables to plastic ones. And the last usage of adjectives we'll look at today is with words like big, small, or tall. These words denote size or measurement. For example, the Empire State Building is very tall and wide. Hopefully, now that you realize just how valuable adjectives are, you'll want to know exactly how we use them grammatically correctly. When forming a sentence with an adjective, we have 2 options for adjective placement. It can go before the noun it's modifying or after the noun it's modifying if we use a connecting verb. When using an adjective before a noun, there's no need to add anything else. Just place the adjective directly before the noun it's modifying. Let's take a look at 3 examples of when we use adjectives before nouns. To help you see things a little bit more clearly, I've highlighted the adjectives in blue and the nouns they are modifying in orange. I watched a really scary movie with my friends last night. Thank you so much for an amazing day. I had a great time with you. It's certainly a difficult game, but challenging things are always better. When we want to use an adjective after a noun, we need to use a linking verb between the noun and the adjective. The most common verb used in this situation is the verb to be, but we can also use verbs such as look, feel, taste, or smell. While we never need to modify an adjective, we will still need to modify these connecting verbs to agree with the subject or the tense of the sentence. Let's check out some more examples with the adjective and the connected verb highlighted. It's really hot today. Don't forget to drink plenty of water. That dinner you cooked last night tasted delicious. Can I get your recipe? It will be disappointing if no one shows up for tonight's party. We've now covered what adjectives are, the different times we use adjectives, and how to use adjectives grammatically correctly in a sentence. Let's look now to see if we can identify some of the common word endings which adjectives use. This will help you to be able to identify an adjective, but also choose the right form of a word when you want to use an adjective in a sentence. Some of the most common adjective endings are able or ible, such as in edible, incredible, or delectable. Al, such as national, emotional, or educational. Ful, such as beautiful, wonderful, or awful. Ive, such as creative, expensive, or attractive. And finally, ous, such as tremendous, adventurous, or dangerous. There are some more common adjective endings, so check out the description below where I have a couple of great links to websites which list a really large number of adjective word endings with some good examples. The last thing I want to talk about very briefly is a really important usage of adjectives, and that is using adjectives when we want to compare things. Adjectives can be used for direct comparisons using comparatives and superlatives, but they can also be used to measure quantities or qualities. I have already made some very detailed videos on comparatives and superlatives, linked above. I'll also be making more videos in the future about using adjectives to compare things. The reason why I don't want to go into this now is because the associated grammar with comparing things using adjectives is actually quite complex and should not be rushed. I'll dedicate entire videos to the different ways we can use adjectives to compare things to make sure your understanding is really high level. The same is true for adjective word order. I'll make a video about this in the future. So if you'd like to learn about comparing things and adjective word order, subscribe to English Made Easy to improve your knowledge of adjectives and all things English. If you have any questions about adjectives or want to tell me what you think would be an interesting subject to learn about, post it in the comments below. Thanks. Thanks for watching this lesson of English Made Easy. If you feel like this video helped you, please give it a like, share it with your friends, or even consider subscribing to see more of our videos. If you have a question that you want answered, please post it in the comments section below. Or if you'd like to join our community, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or even support us on Patreon. You can find the links to all of these below. Thanks for watching and keep learning.